This Ron Underwood science fiction comedy film performed so poorly when it was released on August 16, 2002, it failed to earn back even 8% of its $100 million budget. In fact, when adjusted for inflation, this PG-13 rated picture is ranked 6th from the bottom for most losses suffered in a major box office debut. Its abysmal financial reputation notwithstanding, the 95-minute story is decently entertaining and decidedly unique. In the year 2080, on the surface of a colonized moon, Eddie Murphy leads an all-star cast as a successful nightclub owner who battles the mafia to save his business. The premise definitely has potential, as I could easily see an episodic TV show that follows the misadventures and hijinks a club owner would get into while living on the moon. There was a time when Murphy was a sharp, vulgar, and hilarious stand-up comedian, and while those days are long behind him, his wide grin and quick-witted charm is enough to carry the often ridiculous and fast-moving story.
Shake me down, then you blow up my club, you blow up my wood bar stools. You know how hard it is to get wood on the moon, huh? All right, you wanna play games? You wanna play games? Well, listen, you have to shoot around your boy. It's easier to shoot through him.
In the hapless sidekick role is Rosario Dawson, who tags along for no discernible reason. From a production standpoint, her inclusion is obviously due to her good looks, but from a story perspective, her involvement makes absolutely no sense. She's a struggling lounge singer who puts herself in constant danger for a guy she literally just met. It's yet another misstep in Dawson's enigmatically successful career, constantly plagued by poor decisions and bad projects. The massive supporting cast also includes Randy Quaid as a creepy-looking and intellectually limited android, Joe Pantoliano as a hitman for hire, Jay Mohr as a struggling nightclub act, Guzmán as a loudmouth smuggler, James Rebhorn as, what else, a slimy corporate type, Peter Boyle as a wise retired cop, Burt Young as a considerate bookie, John Cleese as a robot inside a moon car, and Alec Baldwin rounds out the group with a quick cameo as an asshole mob boss. Despite their decades of collective experience, this talented cast is unfortunately given little opportunity to make a lasting impression, as few stick around for any significant amount of time. When one of them is unceremoniously whacked, the audience will likely feel nothing for the underdeveloped character, especially since the protagonist barely seems to notice either. Even though there's echoes of comic book flair, the plot is commendably an original one, penned by Neil Cuthbert over 15 years prior, which mixes in great references to Microsoft Avenue and Hillary Clinton's face on currency. But despite all the robots, human clothing, and ray guns, the plot is unfortunately rather pedestrian, unraveling with a great deal of predictability, at least until a surprising twist in the final minutes. Underwood's slower and fluid direction incorporates some nifty movement-matching edits and showcases the colorful lunar society with beautiful wide shots. The visuals, meanwhile, are also handled impressively well, from a thrilling hovercar chase through the canyons of the moon to a hectic shootout that sees our heroes bouncing around in the low-gravity environment. When Murphy annoyingly questions how his enemies found him, Cleese retorts, "Obviously you did something stupid." Containing a certain swashbuckling sensibility to it, John Powell's score is an above-average one and suits the picture perfectly. Thematically, the movie is about as strong as the moon's gravity, but remains reasonably believable within the confines of its astronomical narrative. Utilizing some cool locations, big-name talent, and capable special effects, this space adventure is certainly better than its Razzie-nominated reputation. But I can understand why people weren't flocking to the theater to see a character no one had ever heard of before. Overlooked but still enjoyable, this sci-fi film is worth checking out at least once. The Adventures of Pluto Nash is an underappreciated, if overambitious experience, but an alright film.